Hello, I'm Sim and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about my big fat Indian destination wedding in Bahrain and why I decided to do it in Bahrain. So for all of those new here, I want to share a little backstory with you that I actually started my wedding planning process about 11 months before my wedding, and I've literally done research for all the places across the world. Starting with Turkey, which was actually very far to take everyone from India to Turkey. We even had to take our caterers, decorators, and it was just too much of a hassle. Then we came a little bit closer and considered the Middle East, where we considered Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, and we considered Thailand. We considered Phuket, Hua Hin, Khao Lak in Thailand. And I'll tell you some pros and cons quickly about the two. So Thailand, it's a 4-hour journey and you're losing time when you're traveling. So it's not very practical to do a 2-night destination wedding. Plus, for someone who's traveling to all these resorts, honestly, the entire day goes in just traveling and you're just tired by the end of it. And thirdly, the weather was extremely unpredictable and I didn't want it to rain on my big day. So we cancelled the idea of Thailand altogether, and then we narrowed down into the UAE, where we had a good look at a couple of properties at Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, Dubai, and then Bahrain as well, of course. We flew down to Bahrain, where we were welcomed by the Bahrain Tourism Board head, Dr. Ali. He literally came to greet us at the airport. We sat in a lounge with him where his team took our bags from the baggage belt and then he dropped us into the car. It was such a lovely experience, just going to a city where you are considering maybe possibly getting married. And then when we went there, the hotel, the view, the hospitality, the food, everything was so good. It was honestly very difficult to negotiate any of the terms the hotel had put forth with us because it was honestly so worth it. Just look, I got married on a private island in Bahrain. Like, how cool is that? And it was just so perfect, so picturesque. It was like a dream come true moment for me at that point when I first saw the island. And then of course when I walked down as a bride, it was the best experience of my life for sure. So Bahrain was really set apart specifically because of how heavily involved their tourism board was with us and honestly all families that get married in Bahrain. So they gave us free visas for all our guests. They helped us with a vintage car for Addie's Barat. They gave us a free drone for one of our events so that we could honestly capture the best beach party there ever has happened, by the way. More on that a little later, but make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can watch the beach party where Walter from Italy performed. Anyways, then they also gave us free transportation for about 100 of our guests, which was such a thoughtful gesture. Like, it makes our life so much easier when people are coming in from different flights and late at night, middle of the afternoon, and you don't have to arrange separate buses just for 2 or 3 passengers coming separately. So that was a big plus. They also ensured none of our guests had to wait in lines anywhere at the airport, for be it for their immigration, their visa, anything. It was all like you just had to say, okay, I'm here for Simran and Aditya's wedding, and everything was super smooth. You got into your bus and you came to the hotel. Now at the hotel, the staff was super friendly. Almost everyone was Indian and they were extremely familiar with Indian weddings. They knew the rituals honestly better than Addie and I, which was very, very, very helpful, very warm, very hospitable, knowing that, okay, like the hotel staff knows what all is needed for an Indian puja. Like they will provide us with the key, they'll provide us with all the samagri that's required, and we don't have to stress about it in case we forget anything. So that was a big plus for sure. And I think the most important one was the food. It was mind-blowing. I literally, at our reception, we had a sugar-free, gluten-free dessert bar, and it was amazing. Like, I feel like it was also very me because Addie and I are so into fitness and I love sugar-free desserts and healthy desserts, and it was extremely delicious and such a thoughtful gesture of the chef as well to know what I like, to know what I'm into, and to prepare this for us. So if you're considering getting married in Bahrain, make sure you check out the Bahrain Weddings website. I'll link it below in the caption so you can know all the freebies that you can get from the tourism board for your wedding as well. And in case you're thinking if you should take local vendors or hire vendors from India, I honestly feel I had a way better experience with local vendors that I hired from them. My decorator ever after Bahrain, her name is Dandy. I had a fabulous experience with her. Her ideas were so unique and she executed them to the T. I had absolutely no problem at all, neither in the planning stage nor in the negotiation stage, and she was so responsive, like I was so into the wedding planning process that even at 2 a.m. I would message her being like, hey Dandy, I've thought of this idea, do you think we can come up with this? And she didn't say no Sim, like it's too late now, we're already done, everything is planned. But she would in fact find ways to say, okay, let's do this, this is what I think we can do, this is how we can execute it. And this was something I wanted in all my vendors, and Dandy had it all for sure. So she managed our decor and sound and light, and I hired my makeup artist locally as well. I know it's very different from what Indian brides do, where they take all these fancy makeup artists from India to across the globe with them, but Ansa was by far the best I've even had like my trial with. And look at like my wedding day makeup. She understood who I was, and she didn't take more than 45 minutes to get me ready for any of my looks, and it was so natural. Like I'm a no makeup kind of gal, and she got it right, and there was no pressure to put anything more, nothing. So she understood the assignment for sure. If you want to know anything more about getting married in Bahrain or any other details about how I managed to execute my wedding myself, ask me in the comments and I promise I'll reply to all of you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.